We are going to open this Kuromi box and we're going to find all of the tastiest of tasty Sanrio 6 because it has a bullet hole in the back of it. And everybody knows that damaged boxes are lucky. Now this box has a story. This is a return box. So in the Oasis Discord, the largest MetaZoo Marketplace Discord, and I'll put a link in the comments for that. This is a lot of buy-sell trading. We have over 1,500 MetaZoo fans in there that just do all kinds of stuff. And it's an independent Discord, so you can kind of like do whatever you want. A little bit more freedom in there than some of the official corporate Discords. We do giveaways, and I did a giveaway for a patron of mine, just a free box of the Sanrio Kuromi's Cryptid Carnival set. So that's what this is. But to double up on the drama of opening this box, what I've done is someone else, a fantastic customer of mine who buys to collect, right? He received a little bit of USPS shipping damage on his box. So he got this otherwise beautiful box of Kuromi's Cryptid Carnival, but it has like a hole in the bottom. So he receives this box and it's for display, right? He's a collector and he wants for display. And he's like, good Lord, man, like what in the world happened to this? Anyway, he brought it to my attention and I offered him a return. I sent him a return shipping label and I already have packaged up his replacement box, beautiful box, a ton of extra packing around it so that if USPS decides to go take it to a shooting range, it will hopefully survive. But what I thought we would do is I like to think that sometimes, not always, sometimes damaged boxes are lucky, right? So we're going to open this up as the giveaway box that we gave away in Oasis so that this gentleman can see what was in the box. Because maybe it's nothing, but maybe it's something great. So let's go ahead and open it up. We're going to open it through the bullet hole because that's the way to do it. So this set, let's see, booster boxes right now on the open market seem to be, especially once you include taxes and fees and shipping and stuff, seem to be sitting at about like $90 to $105 a box, sounds like, which is pretty typical for a trading card game after release, I think. Anyway, if you look at Pokemon and MTG boxes with 36 packs in them, you're going to see approximately that sort of like level for TCGs. And so yeah, as long as we don't crash into the floor with this set, that'll be a win for MetaZoo if they can keep it in that like $90 to $105 a box range. Sort of like Native has been holding up. We're going to do the first pack a little bit slow, just to take our time and enjoy the artwork of the Sanrio set. Kuromi and Chibi Sheep Squash is one of the cutest new chibis in the set, in my opinion. Reverse Hollow Griddle Grease Repeat. All right, cool. Then we have that and that and that and that and that. Yeah, so what we did see with Native, though, something to keep in mind, is with Native there was like a dip. You know what you had? You had the dip after the dip. Let's go ahead and do this. Trade costumes and reverse hollow Kuromi Spooky Mask. So the dip after the dip is like, MetaZoo hasn't proven itself yet, and so a lot of retailers are more anxious about it, and understandably so, right? So when they're looking at like, are they going to hold product or sell product, they're going to lean to the sell side, especially if it's still available at distribution. Full hollow Chibi Wahila, beautiful. First, nah, love the hollow in this set. Like if it's still available at distribution, retailers are going to say, well, I can just go pick up more kind of whenever I want to, so no big deal. And they're probably going to liquidate what they have for fear of the price dropping. And so the big question is always when you have a MetaZoo set that comes out is it available at distribution or not after release? And if it's not, then prices are going to hold it pretty well. If it is, then retailers are going to dump it, at least to the extent that they have it. And so now we enter the period where, like Native, the question is more, oh, nice full hollow Chibi Loveland Frogman. Beautiful card. Very nice. One of my favorite chibis in the set. The question is, will the demand be able to keep up with the pace of retailer dumping, right? Because it's just part of the organism that is MetaZoo right now. Like MTG and Pokemon sees dumping also. In fact, MTG, we've had the company itself has been dumping those cards on Amazon, which is pretty wild. But another Chibi Wahila, full hollow, cool. Yeah, but MetaZoo hasn't proven itself yet, so I don't know, man. I don't know. With Native, what we saw was the booster boxes dropped down to like $80 a box shortly after release as the retailers dumped their leftover stock, right? But then the demand was high enough and the oversupply was low enough that boxes did not continue to decline. A lot of people called for a decline. A lot of people, most YouTube channels, I would say, because it's easy to just follow the trend, right? But that's what's easy. When things are down, it's easy to say things will keep going down. And when things are up, it's easy to say things will keep going up. And so the easy play with native was to say it's going to crash too. But fact is, it just hasn't crashed, right? Native just has not crashed. It's held up quite well. It's still about 90 to 100 something dollars a box, especially after, shipping and fees or whatever. So it never did. It went down to $80 and then it held and it recovered and it went back up. Oh, I love this one. Chibi Salamander Queen. This one's like, this one's ridiculously cute. Who did this one? Kelsey, the Moth Mother. Very nice. Nice job, Kelsey, on that one. Big fan. Yeah, so what will we see with Kuromi's Cryptid Carnival? Is this going to be another thing that flushes down a bit and then holds and recovers? And I think the big thing is you're just going to have to see, where does that crossroads of supply and demand take us? We just don't know. Like, how many retailers went in too heavy, Kuromi and My Melody, because they wouldn't have been nice full hollow. They wouldn't have been allocated for this set, which, by the way, if you don't know what that means, it means that you don't get what you order. Like with Pokemon and MTG, most retailers, so what you get is the big established retailers that are less likely to dump their product, for like whatever they can get back for it. They typically get whatever they want when they order, just because they're big established retailers. They pay their bills, they've proven themselves, and they don't dump on the market. And the smaller retailers, the lower quality retailers that are like month to month, and I don't mean lower quality like you're a bad person, I just mean you're less well financed, you're less stable as a business, and you depend on dumping the product you just brought in that you didn't sell in order to promote cash flow for the next purchase, right? It just is what it is. It's a lower quality retailer from like the perspective of a merchant distributor, right? So those people don't get what they order. They could order like 200 boxes of Pokemon, and they might get 100, they might get 8, depends on how long they've been around. They don't get what they want, right? So Pokemon does this and MTG does this even though they could supply everyone with everything that those people want, right? You see what I mean? It's not like Pokemon, after all these decades, can't find a way to produce enough product. Like, you gotta understand that. It's not like there's some magical force in the universe telling Pokemon that there's no way to give people what they want and so people get allocated. No, they do it. They do it because that level of retailer is going to dump the market. Chibi Akalabopa, full hollow. And so in order to protect the marketplace and the race to the bottom, you give bigger stores what they want and you cut little stores loose. And then those little stores will sell. They'll sell out of their product and they'll run out, and then the market can hold up and recover. So what's the saving grace for native was that it was so under ordered that there wasn't a whole lot left. There wasn't much left to dump. Reverse hollow Chibi Lechuza. Nice. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen with Kuromi, because on the one hand, the demand is way higher than I've seen with native. I mean, it's more than twice as high from like a sealed product sales demand. If you look on the internet and just my own personal experience, it's just the demand is really high for Kuromi relative to native. We got number 1. I thought it was number 4 for a second. I was hoping it was the Sanrio 6. Full hollow Kuromi. The Sanrio 6 are really hard to get in this set. They're really, really tough. You can open several boxes and not pull a Sanrio 6. The Sanrio 6 are numbers 4, 8, 20. And then there's like 3 Aura and Terra. I forget if they're 30, 31, 32, or 31, 32, 33. But anyway, they're really hard to get. They're all worth quite a bit of money. So if you buy a $4 pack and you pick up one of those, it can be like worth more than $100. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I don't know. On the other hand, the thing is, so the demand is a lot higher for KCC, Kuromi's Cryptid Carnival, but also the supply is higher because I think, more stores entered into buying more of it because of the Hello Kitty branding, because they expected higher demand. And so the supply side is definitely higher as well. And I'm seeing some, and I don't mean this as a personal offense, but like lower capitalized, or lower not qual, like they can be a great person and a great business, but retailers that dump product, I'm just seeing them like having leftover, which is not typically great. It's not really what you want to see as a TCG, basically. And so if you have like 20 lower quality retailers and each of them has 6 to 24 boxes of KCC left, you're going to see a couple of months of flushing where those people have to flush out. And then the other issue then becomes if there's anything left at distributors. Now, it seems like most distributors are sold out, but one distributor has a little bit of product that's come back in stock. Full hollow Chibi Mike the Chicken, and we don't know how much product that is, right? And so then, then hopefully we can hit some kind of homeostasis where in order to continue to sell for cheap, a retailer would have to order it from distribution. They're going to pay like $80 after shipping and fees and stuff like that. And then they're not going to want to do that for nothing. And so it should reach, in an ideal scenario, KCC would reach like a homeostasis price, a break-even price of about $95 a box on average. And then the LGS or whatever, the game store that's selling it for that much, isn't going to make really any money, especially if they're selling it on a platform like eBay or something that takes a percentage. But that's usually what you see. You usually see boxes end up around like a zero margin level for retailers, which is why so many retailers are dropping like MTG, because the margins are so garbage. They can't stay in business selling it unless they try to take pity sales. Full hollow Chibi Loveland Frogman. So I don't know. I guess we have yet to see if the demand for the Kurami set can outstrip the supply or not. It's really hard to know. I think that if MetaZoo ever started to do what Pokemon and MTG did, and they started to like not give every single retailer who wants whatever they want, not to give them what they want, which sounds silly, right? I get that. Like, it sounds silly if someone wants to buy 100 or something, to tell them they can only have 10. But like, that's what the big companies do. That's what they do. Because once you start to understand human behavior and the way the marketplace actually works as opposed to the way it should work, you start to understand that that's how you can protect your marketplace from this like vicious race to the bottom, and from the FOMO, ridiculous FOMO ordering, like what we saw with Cryptonation 2nd Edition, Wilderness, and UFO, and even to some extent Seance, because MetaZoo advertised they cut the print run back. But it doesn't matter if you cut back the print run of a product and everyone who orders it still gets what they want, you're going to see the same phenomenon on markets where there's oversaturation. And then one other advantage that KCC might have going for it is I've preliminarily, and I don't know if this will end up being the case or not because MetaZoo pivots like a leaf in the wind, but preliminarily I heard there won't be any reprints for this. I've heard there's like a big box set, and that's it. That you're not going to see, a bunch of reprinted promos in like random products and a bunch of like, the eBay stuff and whatever. Because usually what MetaZoo does is they push out way too much core set volume. Like take I don't know, Wilderness, for example, right? So they pushed out Wilderness and they printed a ton of it. So every retailer got whatever they wanted, which meant there was huge oversaturation in the marketplace, and the retailers started to dump their product, right? And then they followed it up with a Wilderness Pin Club, which is a greater rarity, greater chase variant of a lot of the Wilderness hits. And then they followed it up with Wilderness eBay and Wilderness Big Box, 2 additional printings that are both greater rarity, greater chase versions of the Wilderness hits, right? And then there was like Wilderness Revive, which again, another Chibi Wahila. It's cute, but we have 3 of them now. Full hollow. So then you have Wilderness Revive, which is yet another greater rarity printing with greater chase and stuff like that. And then I'm probably forgetting even more Wilderness. My point is, if your first action is to oversaturate the marketplace with a first edition product, and then your second through fifth actions are to reprint the product in greater rarity, greater chase formats, what you're doing is you've left the body of the first edition core set on the ground, and then you're just burying knives into its chest as far as value goes. And this is why the value of the Wilderness singles is absolute garbage, right? And that's it. Some players will say it's because it's not playable. Collectors will say it's because it's not collectible. The truth is what I have just said. That's my opinion anyway. It has nothing to do with the fact that like there aren't, because there's tons of desirable, beautiful cards in Wilderness. Wilderness is a beautiful set. The cards are great. The BCs are great. People love Akanto. People love, like, there's Bigfoot in there. There's a lot of good stuff in Wilderness, and the cards are worthless. And the reason is because all of the value is in Pin Club, eBay, and Big Box, and Revive, and all that stuff. All of the value left first edition, and there's just an insane amount of first edition. And so my suggestion for you as a MetaZoo fan is if value doesn't matter to you, then you will love first edition stuff because it's not going to hold value unless MetaZoo breaks pattern, which it kind of did starting with native. So we'll see if it continues doing that. And if you're a retailer, you need to be very cautious about holding on to first edition product if MetaZoo continues this trend of reprinting it in greater rarity, greater chase formats like eBay and Big Box and all this other stuff with unique printings, right? Because once again, those aren't first edition cards anymore. Those are like new identifiable print runs, and so the hot money is going to go to those greater rarity print runs, and it's going to leave first edition. So you really can't like sit on first edition. That's just a fair warning to you, my friends. So yeah, and if you're a collector and you're looking for the value, you need to stick to those specialty products, those like lower print promo run, those DTC runs. First edition is not where you want to go for value. You want to go to like the low pop promos, basically, and then you want to go to like, I don't know, the specialty sets. eBay. If you just look at eBay, just look at eBay for eBay cards. I know. Here's someone. I'm in before someone in the comments goes, "Whose idea was it to put eBay's logo on a card?" Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's great if you like it. It doesn't really matter if you like it or not. The secondary market is much stronger for eBay products. So the market has spoken. The market prefers the greater rarity, low print stuff for value. And if you're a MetaZoo collector and a MetaZoo fan, you're going to find yourself becoming far less frustrated if you move away from the product that has been designed to drop in value and you move towards the products that just structurally are designed to maintain value, the limited print run stuff. So anyway, there you go. That's a little carrot for you guys. Now with native, they seem to have changed things a little bit in that they printed this native 19, and so far the only reprint has been like kind of what the Big Box thing, right? We haven't seen any eBay native yet. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that. There was no native Pin Club, there was no native Revive, and so therefore the first edition native cards are still holding value for now. But the truth is, you never know when MetaZoo's going to come out and release the eBay native set, and you better believe it that some of the money from first edition, the collector money, is going to leave first edition, or at least at a minimum stop accumulating, stop chasing first edition, and start chasing eBay, because it'll be some greater rarity, lower print, exclusive version of native, right? And the native Gala boxes are like that. I guess that was a native reprint. Oh, and the native streamer kits, if they ever do show up, that'll be another greater rarity version of native, and all of these things come like on the side of the core set. So I only bring this up because I love MetaZoo as a theme. I buy it regardless. It doesn't matter to me entirely. But like, for example, I hardly own any Wilderness first edition sealed product. I open it for fun. I love opening it. I love the cards. I love that they're super affordable. I love having it for live streams. I love opening Wilderness. And the first edition products, is worth noting, have the serial chases and the tickets, right? So what you're basically seeing with MetaZoo is you're seeing the value of these first edition core sets get absolutely crushed because of, in my opinion, an armada of greater rarity chase reprints that come after the first edition for every set so far, except for, I guess it's been slightly more limited with native and so far with KCC, right? But then people keep opening it after the value gets crushed. The saving grace of the first edition set is people keep opening it because they're chasing the serialized cards and like the golden tickets and the sauce, which I guess is, I don't know. I mean, the problem is obviously then it's a lottery ticket. It's like all or nothing, which is fun, and it still drives sales on live streams because it's more fun than going and buying a scratch ticket from the store. You can pay a couple dollars, open a pack of MetaZoo, get some cool like artwork, have some fun with it, and then maybe you'll pull something worth thousands of dollars. Kuromi and Chibi Unicorn full hollow. But anyway, but my concern is just that what we're seeing right now is that model of reprinting, exclusive, that is burying the first edition product out in the backyard. That model is going to make it very stressful for retailers who are thinking about carrying your product. And so the only way it can work, I think, really is if you control the market, which failed horrendously the first time that was attempted because MetaZoo is a brand new company and they don't have control of the market, right? So like if I don't know, if you just completely control the market to where products don't completely tank, I guess, then what you'll probably notice is like, yeah, the box prices might still be high on markets because you can only buy them from the 3 places that will sit on them forever. But because the single prices will get crushed, I don't think people will buy the boxes. Basically, like the open market tells you what things are, what people are really willing to pay for things, and the current model where almost all the value is driven towards eBay, big box, streamer kit, gala, blah blah blah, special variants of everything. Oh, and all the event promos that are reprints, like the event promo reprints and the skateboard reprints and all this stuff. If all the value is going there, the first edition value and the singles are going to get murdered, which is great for players, but it absolutely destroys the box value of the first edition product, which means retailers aren't going to touch your game, right? Because all the money, all the safety is in the DTC. So I don't know if this is a great model for MetaZoo to follow. I know that it's, it'll promote sales of the new, more exclusive things, but what you're doing is you train your audience over time to avoid the first edition release. And so maybe there's a better way to do it. If you are able to keep a bunch of desirable playable cards in your first edition core set that people will chase, if you can do that people will chase, that are not reprinted, that hold value, and then you are sacred about not reprinting them into the ground 8 million ways within a year in a bunch of like higher rarity variants. If you can do that, they will hold value, and then your set will maintain, and the boxes will hold up, and you probably be okay. But you really need to start to consider how to keep value in your first edition product, or your first edition products are going to be garbage. They're going to be garbage value, and retailers aren't going to want to carry them. So just something to think about. I, for one, like mostly what I keep for Wilderness. My long-term Wilderness stash is almost entirely eBay, basically. And then same for UFO. I have a couple cases of booster boxes because I love opening UFO. I love UFO. Right? I open it for live stream, but from a retail perspective, what I've hung on to in a larger position is just the eBay product. Basically, it's all just like the promos. It's just low pop promos and low pop print sets like eBay, Gala, and stuff like that. Anyway, something to consider if I don't know if anyone's making a game. If anyone out there is one of the 10 million people trying to make a game right now, and you're trying to wonder about how to keep value in your products, you really can't reprint the most valuable cards in your products while the product that is being sold to people that contains that product is still sitting on retailer shelves collecting dust. Like, if you do that, you're going to kill your retail chain, and then they're going to stop buying your product. Hey, you got a pretty good box. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 full hollows is a pretty good spread. Nice little frogman. We did not get any Sanrio 6, so the bullet hole from USPS did give us some luck as far as full hollows goes, but not any serialized cards and not any Sanrio 6. And that's your free box, Mr. Discord winner. We'll get this shipped off to you tenderly, sweetly. Hope you have a fantastic week, guys. That's all I have for now. Let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts about all the stuff I just talked about. Until next time, this is Argos, signing out.